So we placed in silver, which is not the exploit thing that I heard about. The exploit thing you could place in like gold or something, where you like abuse norms or whatever the fuck. Well, we've gotten good games in. I think we're good to keep going for now. This is the classic NEACE champ anyways. I mean, honestly, like I said in the thing, I think no matter how you slice it, the fucking solos own everything. And I think even now after this patch, I think they're gonna own it even more, don't you? Bot isn't gonna be autopilot pushing anymore. You're not incentivized to gank early with like cheese ganks and bust open bot lane at like Mach 10. If anything, you're more incentivized to play towards top and slow the game down top and mid, because if either of those solo laners are good and get out of control, the game is like over. Yeah, so the Bork Jock Show build is, I'm going to be running that a lot on this climb because it's pretty good. We found out that there's a dude in Korea running it and he was winning quite a bit with it. He was winning more than normal Tryndamere players with it, and it totally makes sense. Bork is OP. Jock Show means you ult later. And no one can really duel you, so it kind of turns Tryndamere into like god mode dueling. It tracks. It's the same shit Aurelias do. Because I mean, what other options do you have as a jungler? You know, we could talk about power farming junglers that might work. You know, Nocturne comes to mind, being able to kind of omnipotently farm and like look for stuff. Same with Karthus. Karthus looks really good. We already got beat by Karthus even these low level games, right? Karthus looks good because he doesn't have to come out of the jungle, you know, if he doesn't want to, and he can still pick up and impact the map. This is kind of because at the moment it's going to be pretty hard to play those like super aggro junglers. And I think the community is going to think that when they're popping off, it has more to do with them than their laners. But I don't think that's actually what's going to be going on. I think that the junglers that are winning are going to be winning as a consequence of the laners being good, and it's not the other way around. I would never go Iceborne now. Jock Show is just a better item at the moment, I think. Yeah, it's too powerful. Playing solid doesn't feel as rewarding as it's supposed to feel than jungle. It is what it is. Jungle usually was the solo climbing role. That's why I was interested in it. It has I literally made masters at the end of in the middle of last season. I made masters very, very easily with jungle because it was a good solo climbing role. There's nothing wrong with it. You never fell behind laners. Like, you didn't really fall behind the laners that often. But as soon as the fucking preseason came out, it was like, felt like the shittiest role ever. And me, I was kind of like brain fucked because I was like, well, these people are better mechanically. So dude, you just stink. Like, you just suck. And I was like bouncing my head against the wall, trying to understand like why I'm doing all these, like, I'm basically trying my ass off to win. And I'm just not winning. I'm just not. I'm practicing, I'm studying, I'm practicing, I'm studying, I'm practicing, I'm studying, and I'm just not able to fucking turn the corner on the role. And wouldn't you know it, because the role wasn't that important. The roles that were important were the other roles. Yeah, I could win and I could carry sometimes, but it was when the other roles allowed me to do that. That's the problem. See, like, Cowsup even got to Grandmaster, and he's playing Yi, and he's just running around like a goober, right? He's just goober. He's goober fighting, right? And that's good because Yi works, but I just never embraced the style. I just didn't want to play it. So I wasted a lot of time because I wouldn't do it. I kept trying other things, but the answer was just perma gank. Gank a lot. This next game is probably going to be my last. I did say that I'm not going to overplay on this account. And I'm getting to that sleepy NEACE stage. No, the bot meta has changed. The bot meta was poke and push, but now it's changing. This patch, it's out. So you guys are in the clear now. I find it funny that as soon as I got into a ranked game on this account, I had a nightmarishly hard ranked game, Nightmarishly hard, nightmarishly hard. It was all jungle. It was like all my work was meaningless. You see that? Look at that. All my work on the roll was meaningless. It didn't mean anything. Like, Hecarim's not a great champ right now, but like, that just goes to show you. It just didn't mean anything. Call it doom and gloom. Call it whatever you want. But it is what it is. Well, I can't blind Tryndamere here. I got a Rise and a Gragas. So I guess we just have to Fiora it. Oh, but that's where you're wrong, my friend. Platinum in Korea, you'll see Zeri and fucking Yumi, and you'll see how good they are. You'll see them real fucking quick. You'll see them. You'll see them. You'll see them, no problem. How's the games? Okay. I played 2 games of jungle. The first one, it felt like the patch did something. Elise ran around the map, got super ahead with ganks, but she never just passed me in XP. But then the next game, my laners sucked dick and I couldn't do anything. Their jungler wasn't getting super far ahead, really, but because of what the laners were doing, I couldn't offset it, so I just went back to top. What we'll do is, like I said, we'll just stay away from the jungle for now. I played enough today. Yeah, jungle's just been hit too hard, I think. I think at the end of the day, you've got to accept that if you're not playing a solo lane, you better be at the elo you're supposed to be at, because if you're playing some fucking jungle shit by yourself and trying to climb, you won't be having a lot of fun, in my opinion. It's too much work. As somebody who's played real-time strategy games and League of Legends for a long time, jungle has been... Let's take a moment. Hold on. I've played for many years. I have seen many junglers get elo inflated from this role. I thought that would be me here in Korea, but no, the role, everything from power farm Graves to Mundo 3 camp back into Doran's Blade, into fucking Nocturne, autopilot, press R. It's all gone. You are now, junglers have been bullshitting for like forever. Junglers, you heard it here. You may now officially in NEACE streams, you may now officially bitch that your role sucks dick. Congratulations. It took you many patches where you guys like tried to lie and cheat and game me. This is the one. This year has been the one. So rest in peace, my junglers. Rest in peace. I would strongly advise that you just slide on over to top and mid for now. You guys did. You had a lot of years. We had a lot of good years, boys. All those memories. All those memories. I'll say this. If there is a strategy to jungling that will like super turbo Smurf by yourself solo, I don't know what it is at the moment. I think you're probably looking at some like niche shit like fucking Master Yi or like I was messing around with Karthus. I think Karthus is still good. But it's very like you're never gonna have this like massive fucking edge from like farming or, you know, pathing or anything like. You're just not gonna have it anymore. You can't just power farm and like use, like, I always use this example for people that are thinking that I'm just saying it to be dramatic. Think of it like this. What happens if you and I go into lane and I get 10 CS a minute and you get 5 CS a minute? Right? Now I'm simplifying a little bit, but just like do my exercise. Right? What happens if I get 10 CS a minute and you get 5 CS a minute? What happens? Chat. What happens when somebody just out farms the ever living fuck out of you in a lane? Let's see what chat has to say on that one. 10 CS a minute. You get power spikes earlier. You lose, you get half the gold. Yeah. You get stretched like a limousine. The fuck? Player A gets items faster. Player B gets dove. You hard win. They throw it. Yeah, you just run the game over. So that's a fundamental, right? That's a fundamental. If you play support and you're really, really good at fighting for wards and contesting wards, like say, for example, you know how to navigate the map in the mid game and not get caught while you're warding, and you know how to ward perimeters and set up picks with the wards and all that. That's a fundamental, right? When you're playing lane, those are fundamentals, right? When you're playing jungle, the fundamentals are, it's as if the fundamentals of jungling were supposed to be farming the camps and pathing. Now those still matter, but because you'll never, ever, ever be able to just like outpath somebody like that anymore, it just becomes about what everybody else is doing. So if you're taking if you're doing like if you go into a game and you say, you know what, I'm just going to clear like a fucking monster. I'm just going to monster clear and absorb all the CS and XP that's dead. I'm going to power farm while watching the map, and I'm going to eat waves and just get huge. You can't do that anymore. Even though your opponent can simultaneously not really be doing that much, right? You can just show up for lanes here or there. You're never going to outmatch the solos, right? And the other thing is, if your laners are just like inting their face off, you can't fix that problem as reliably as you used to. And therein lies the issue. If some idiot, we'll use myself as an example, is idiotic 34-year-old man NEACE can go to top, push his face off, and be 2 to 3 levels ahead of you, and you're just stuck dealing with him the entire game. Who's having the fun? You or idiot NEACE? The answer is idiot NEACE is having the fun. You're just getting more and more. Your blood pressure's boiling because you feel like you should be even to the idiot that's splitting, but you never are. You're never ever even with that guy. No matter how well you farmed, he's always your daddy. I'm always daddy here in this metaphor. So as a result, junglers, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I would imagine, you know, like I said, the last time I climbed was Masters NA with jungle Nocturne in Italy, mostly Nocturne. And it was fundamentals. It was not fancy. It wasn't swaggy. It wasn't run around the map and fight everybody until you're blue in the face. It was deliberate. You choose your fights, path reasonably, responsibly, and you get rewarded. Now, I feel like on my jungle climb, and you guys can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but I was playing way worse mechanically, way less warmed up coming over here. I could not, spamming jungle, feel confident in breaking into diamond easily from jungle with any sort of like cerebral gameplay. It felt like game to game I was doing something radically different. So if that interests you, then just fucking I guess stick with it. But me, I'm just gonna go back to top. And we're gonna start from square one again. And this time, I tested it though. I did test it, and I was enraged within, what was it? I was enraged within 4 games. Within 4 games, I was like, yep. Look at that. 3 losses right away on a new account with a champion that I have practiced my ass off with. Could not carry newbies reliably. So I don't know. I don't get it. I'm probably going to have to go back to the drawing board on that role, but it's not going to be while I'm in Korea, I'll tell you that much. Not until I get somewhere high playing solo lanes. Fuck that. Fuck that. I think Riot succeeded. They succeeded. Yeah, I could test. I could try stuff. If anything pops off, if you guys find any strategies where someone climbs solo, like, I'm down. But again, I think a lot of it is variance. And listen, no one wants to talk about variance in the way that I'm thinking about it here. But like, okay, let's do a little exercise before I go, and then I'm gonna bounce. Okay, hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this one. Let's do it like this. Okay. So my paint explanations. You guys ready for some paint? All right, here's some good paint for you. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, playing jungles like this. All right, playing jungles like this. Basically, when you jungle, you get dealt a hand. Okay, here's your hand. Top, Timmy Toothless. Mid, we'll call this guy fucking Dave the Yasuo main. ADC, Bobby Vane, and fucking support Brittany the Nami enthusiast. Okay, and then on the other team, you get dealt top, Chadlington. You get fucking Cat Evolved's son on Katarina, right? On ADC, you get a Shogo Watcher, right? And on support, you get Ray Scat Thresh 10th account. So on the left, this is you, right? This is you. You're on the left. Okay? You're chilling over here. Him. Okay, this is your opponent. Now, when we talk about people climbing, we say, oh, someone plays really, really well and climbs. Yes, that's true. But the problem is League isn't all things equal anymore. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. If you are to beat these people, you need to have the same amount of power in your kit. The only roles that seem to have the same amount of power are top and mid, right? Or the max amount of power top and mid. The other roles are kind of determined by the people that you get, the hands that you're dealt. So if you're not getting, if you're jungling and over again, you're getting these types of hands, right? And you could say, oh, it's matchmaking. But like, that's the thing is like, I used to be able to say that, but lately I can't say that anymore because I'm not really convinced that matchmaking is really giving you any sort of even streak. Right? It's not even because the game doesn't even know who's in what elo anymore. So like you could just run bad. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If we compare it to cards and the players that you're dealt, you could just run bad. And if the role gets to a point where there's no reliable system for you to focus on and no reliable fundamental for you to focus on and to reliably get rewarded, that role is fucked. If I can't carry Timmy Toothless and Brittany the Nami Enthusiast versus Chad Chadlington and Ray Scat Thresh's 10th account, if I can't carry these people, then I don't want to be here anymore. Like, if I have no chance to offset these types of players, if I have no window to offset them, reliable. And I'm not talking about, oh, they overpush and give me a fucking 10 gold bounty or whatever the fuck. Right? If there's no reliability, it's not a good role. And like I said, I will give the junglers the nod. I have said the role is really, really strong for a long time. I played it last year, did pretty well. Nope. Not anymore. Shit sucks dick. So yeah. I'm telling you guys this story as a cautionary tale. The better your opponents are, the shittier that role feels. It feels absolutely awful. And now it's at a state of awfulness unlike anything I've ever experienced. Okay? Everybody understand? Guys, I'm about to bounce, man. Challenger Smurf account that I reported to Riot. Challenger Smurf? Who's Challenger? Is this Gragas Mid? I actually might know who this is playing Gragas Mid. But he's not a Challenger. He might be. I don't know this year. I don't think he's a Challenger Smurf, though. But he might have made it. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it. Woody Fruity. Yeah, that's the one that I'm thinking of. Panunu's good, too. Panunu's good, too. Both those guys are pretty good. Dude, this, like, this shit right here. Gragas Mid. Yeah, you're not if you're up against those guys in low elo, you're probably not winning, especially on NA, because those people are just gonna die over and over again to this shit. But that's pretty funny. All right, I'm getting offline. We had our fun. I might be on later today, and what I'll do is I'll play. I'm inviting you guys. Anybody that comes up with interesting builds that are doing really well in Korea, I'm gonna use the second account for practice. So if you've got good builds or strategies. If you've got good builds or strategies, let me know. Now, I'll try them out on the Korea Plat account. I'm not trolling. I'm going to try to win, but like, we're going to try that. We're going to try that shit out. If anything comes up that's like carrying, let's see if we can fix the Plat account on those for fun games. But I'm going to go for now. I'm going to go and get a haircut. You all great. Have a good one.